Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Burning Roar podcast. I'm Jake Scarborough, joined by my co hosts Brendan Reed and Fidel Fabian. We're here for a little interesting one. We've been off for a while since the interview with Jesse Awuji, but how you two doing today?
Well,
Pretty good.
Nice, nice. Well, we got a few interesting things to talk about. Let's cut back to the weekend's events. Starting off with the truck race at Darlington, throwback weekend. How'd you guys feel about the truck race?
I slept through it, so I don't know.
Well, the racing was at least subpar, except for the absolute mayhem that was on, 9 to go, 10 to go, final restart? Not final restart, but the big one that basically caused a bunch of cautions, and pulled out a red flag.
Creed
Yeah.
won, and that's all that matters.
I mean, I watched near the end of it, and when I saw that big crash that involved like half the field, I was just sitting there like, what did I just watch?
I watched the highlights.
Well, aside from that, I mean, Sheldon Creed won. It was basically a wreck fest at the end.
Well, then again, it's the trucks. When is it not a wreck fest?
True. We move on to Xfinity. That was an interesting race, honestly. Yeah, Justin Allgaier win in the Dale Earnhardt Tasmanian Devil throwback. We heard
Absolute
first.
Beautiful throwback.
Well, yeah, we heard first that Noah Gragson won Dash for Cash, then he was disqualified. JRM, fought against it, and he got his place reinstated. So, I mean, that's an interesting race. I don't know how you guys really felt about it. I didn't really see anything special about it.
It was this classic Darlington. You got people running into the wall in turns 3 and 4, getting their Darlington stripes, and drivers having fun out there.
That's all Darlington is. It's a track to have fun at.
True. But yeah, Noah Gragson wins the Dash for Cash, going 3 for 3 with that. Then Justin Allgaier wins the race. But the Cup race was, I don't even know how to put it. It was good, it was bad, it was, I don't know. It was a weird race.
Few Cup races have been like that. Somebody has a 10-second lead, then within like the final 20 or so laps, a caution comes out, or something happens, and it gets good.
Yeah.
This week it was tires.
I don't understand how Truex took 2 at that one point and drove away.
I just think they got the 750 whatever.
Yeah, 750 horsepower, low downforce. And I think this past weekend, Darlington, we saw Truex go back to his old form, back to his Furniture Row form, when he was dominating race after race, getting stage wins, pulling away by 10 seconds. The last time we saw a finish like that from Truex was Owl Club back in 2018.
But that 19 and the 5, they both have that package figured out.
I just think they both have this entire season figured out, honestly. If those two don't make the Final Four, in my opinion, I'm going to be shocked.
I would be mad if Larson doesn't make the Final Four.
Well, that's coming from a fan of Larson, too, so...
Yeah, we can't have biased opinions on here.
I don't know. I do feel like those two are definitely the favorites to make the Final Four. Throw in probably like Hamlin and...
Byron.
Yeah, Byron, because I don't know where Chase Elliott's been, and I don't know if we're going to be seeing anything out of him anytime soon.
Well, you see, the problem, Chase is having good runs.
He's just not able to get the win.
Yeah, it's like Larson has his win. Byron has his win. Both of those races were dominated. Yeah, Bowman has his win, but he only led the final 10 laps at Richmond.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on Chase because something's up with that 9 team. But with the F1 race at Barcelona, I think we saw shades of what was it?
Nothing. We saw absolutely
Hey,
nothing.
hey, hold on,
That's
hold
the
on. No,
review for Barcelona.
no.
We
Hear me
saw
out.
Red Bull make another bad call.
Well, yes, it's not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last. What was it, 2020 Hungary, when they made that call for Verstappen to stay out, and he just got blown past by Hamilton? Like it.
That hurt.
Christian Horner is not the best at making these calls, and it's just like Portugal. He made the call for Sergio to stay out that long, and he proceeds to not do what the whole plan was, and that was stay out so he can cover off Hamilton if a safety car doesn't come out. And what happens? Hamilton blows by him in 2 seconds.
Max won't win a championship with Horner as making the calls.
Verstappen won't win a championship with Lewis Hamilton in F1 and Christian Horner. He can beat Hamilton for the championship, but Horner's holding him back. You take Hamilton out of the picture and still keep Horner, Verstappen's got it. You take Horner out of the picture and possibly throw Hamilton still in it,
it would be closer than what it is.
Yeah, it would definitely be back and forth. Probably would take half a season to get used to, but at the end stage, you're definitely got a close championship battle.
Yeah.
I just like how Gunther told Mazepin to shut up.
That was funny.
Is there
a what?
Is there a race this weekend?
Nope. No, it's an off week for F1 yet again.
Yeah. Well, furthering that discussion, we saw Hamilton win the race. No big surprise there. Mercedes dominance in F1. But this news came out this morning. Justin Haley is out for this weekend due to COVID-19 protocols, meaning Zane Smith will run in the 11 for Kaulig Racing in Xfinity, and Josh Berry will get his Cup debut for Spire in the 77. Truthfully, I don't know how to feel about Josh Berry in Cup. I'm intrigued by it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's like putting an 8-year-old. It's like putting an 8-year-old in your father's car. The 8-year-old's gonna get a bit too excited, press the wrong thing, and possibly damage something.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Josh Berry in the Cup ride. He's gonna get a bit too excited and possibly cause an incident, but you can't blame him. He's still pretty fresh into his career. He's not even a full-time Xfinity Series driver yet, and he's got a first win. But he still needs some he's gonna iron some things out in his racing style and driving style.
It's gonna be interesting to see what he could do.
For me, I mean, he's got that reputation of short track racing. He's not even a full-time Xfinity Series driver, and he's got that win. If Dale Jr. is being serious about starting this Cup team, I don't see a way where Josh Berry isn't his guy. Because he's already, I'd say for a part-time guy, he's outperformed already 2 of the 3 JRM guys in Xfinity, that being Annett and maybe Allgaier in the slightest. I mean, sure, Allgaier has the win. You know, sure, he's probably been one of the top faces of that team besides Gregson, but I just don't see a way where Josh Berry hasn't had better runs than Allgaier. And, you know, if Junior is being serious about this Cup team, Josh Berry is his guy. I mean, sure, we're not going to see much out of, you know, the equipment he's going to be in. It's underfunded equipment. He's probably going to be running around in 30th. If he somehow puts it higher than that, you know, people are going to be shocked. But it's a good experience piece for Josh to, run around at Dover and see what he can do.
Yeah, but I think it would be Gragson that gets the Junior Cup ride.
See, I would think that, but I just feel like there's something going on at Hendrick where Bowman or Byron is gonna get the cut.
Bowman doesn't have sponsorship after this year.
Does he not?
No.
Yeah, Ally did only sign a 1-year contract
Huh.
because it's not Johnson this time.
Well,
Yeah.
another thing too, it was probably some sort of scenario where it's like, all right, Bowman, you're able to put together like a 1-win season. Byron, you have 1 win now. You both need to start picking up the slack. We see Byron get the win at Homestead. We see Bowman win at Richmond. We're getting that winning Hendrick back that we did in the like early 2010s and like early, late 2000s, but like I don't know. I see one of them going away because Bowman or Byron, one of them isn't staying after this year. And in all honesty, I feel like it's going to be Bowman. I feel like he'll end up somewhere like Roush, maybe. But I don't know.
I can see Bowman ended up in like Chip Ganassi equipment.
Possibly.
Yeah. If Kurt retires.
That's believable. But, I don't see one of those two staying. I don't see the 2021 Hendrick Cup roster being exactly the same next year.
Well, we know the two that will definitely be on there.
Well, yeah, Larson and Elliott, and that's because Larson's shown he deserves that ride. Then Elliott, having that championship, I don't see a way where he loses that seat at all. I think the only way Elliott and Hendrick, go separate ways is if Elliott leaves, and the chances of that happening are slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
But, we another person that's filling in for Justin Haley, we see Zane Smith for Colleague and Xfinity. I mean, we've seen Zane Smith drive for JRM. I don't expect him to win. I don't think anyone does, but I'm sure pressure's on him to go get a top 15 or at least a top 10.
Yeah, I can see him running around that kind of position.
But I mean, aside from that, Justin Haley out with COVID-19 due to the COVID-19 protocol did make a little shakeup that was interesting to see. But nonetheless, moving past that, Rick Ware Racing, was considered for a short piece, probably still kind of is, by a huge chunk of the NASCAR fan base. The laughing stock. They go into IndyCar this year, their first full-time year. They had the Indy 500 last year where, what was it? Like the brake exploded or something?
Yeah, with weird green fire for some reason.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tell me the science behind that.
With
that
James Davison at the Indy 500. We come back into this year, they're like, all right, we're making a full-time car with the 51. We're putting Roman Grosjean in for every road course, Pietro Fittipaldi in for the ovals. It's a partnership with Dale Coyne, another team that's not necessarily been a top one, not necessarily been a back marker, but it's just underfunded. It's not, noticed like Penske and Andretti. It's kind of just there. It's running around, we saw Justin Wilson win with them. We've seen, I believe, Bourdais win with them. We've seen, good things happen. Tristan Vautier almost won a race with them. But Roman Grosjean for Rick Ware Racing with Dale Coyne gets the pole for tomorrow's IndyCar race. Who in 1,000 years would have expected that?
me. I was expecting something great from Grosjean this season, and today just put a grin on my face. This is amazing.
It'll
Like this
make it
is the I could not understand you right there, Brendan. You gotta fix that mic.
it would be better if he wins.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
a win is always better than a pole,
well,
but a
yeah.
pole from a team like this, that's surprising.
A team like this, they've got that partnership with a team that's been there for years now and isn't that bad, but they're not the best. He surprisingly put it on pole. This is only his third start. He's a part-time driver, a rookie in IndyCar. He came out of F1 as what was a laughingstock for a while. Bahrain crash happens, and just the entire motorsport fan base went towards him after that because they were so upset with the fact it's like, he's put in so much work. Haas was a dropping team in F1, isn't getting that ride. Look who's in it now. Not talking about Schumacher, talking about Mazepin. But you see that, and he goes into IndyCar. People are calling him crazy for doing this, and he's making it work. He got a top 10 in his first race. What else do you expect from this guy? I'm sure a win's on the horizon. I don't expect him to win tomorrow. It would be awesome to. I don't think it's going to be this season, but if he sticks around for 2022, no doubt in my mind, we're going to see Grosjean in victory lane.
Definitely.
Brendan, do you have anything to add?
No.
Well, that brings us to the special announcement that was announced yesterday on our Instagram, as well as a bunch of the people a part of the group, like Brendan's, Fidel's, mine, Sal's. Huge thing for tomorrow's Xfinity Series race at Dover. The Burning Rubber podcast will be on the quarter panel for Jeb Burton. That was something I don't think any of us were expecting until Sal basically decided we're doing this and I don't care.
Yeah, I'm still a bit speechless of how we were able to pull this one off. Well, mostly Sal, but
Well, yeah, but
still.
just like the whole group. I mean, yeah, Sal did the negotiations, all that. He had the meetings, the calls, all that. But the fact that, I started doing the interviews in 2016, and we made the podcast last year. Started out small, got Kaz Grala, then moved forward, got it into a big group or not like a big group, but there's 7 of us. We've been able to manage that. We've gotten Jesse Awuji sent. We're slightly growing. We're moving forward with Vegas, Pocono, Laguna Seca. And then we have this opportunity where we're going to be on an actual car for the race. And that's just something that blows you away. It's a massive opportunity. It's just something to be absolutely grateful for.
Especially for a group like us. Like, we are no NASCAR Weekly podcast. We are no Dirty Mo Media. We have, like, great equipment, nice budget. We're just a bunch of teenagers just trying to make a living off of this. And to go this far, it's actually pretty incredible.
I mean, this podcast, every view it gets, it's not money that goes into our pockets. We don't have ads, We're doing this like nonprofit. We're basically doing it like as a hobby, hoping, eventually it will turn into something bigger than just that, moving forward. But I feel like this was the right step, or the step in the right direction with everything. And, years down the line when, things happen, no telling where this brings us in a year, 2 years,
Yeah, this is something. I'll be surprised if we're just get like a small bit of attention. It may be just a quarter panel, but man, it still feels awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but it slapped on there big too. So.
Oh yeah.
People are gonna look at that quarter panel and be like, they're gonna question, "What's the Burning Rubber podcast?" and then find us.
Yeah. A bunch of kids with a dream, basically.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Exactly. But hey, no telling where this brings us in the future. We may be on the car again this year. We may be on cars next year. Who's to say we can't be on a car in the 500 in 2022? There is no stopping anything now.
Oh yeah, we're going big boys.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit at this point.
Who says we might not be on a truck next season?
Exactly. Anything's possible. But,
Oh, I say we go to a billboard.
I mean, I think all three of us here, and, Chris, Connor, Keenan, they're a part of this too. This all was thanks to Sal. And, Sal's a big voice within, like, the Instagram side of the NASCAR community. Maybe, I believe even the Twitter side. Sal is a big voice for our side of the community. And, him doing this and spreading the word about it got so many people behind this, supporting this, and, like, congratulations. It's cool to see that. And now I feel like, I hate to, I don't want to jinx anything, but I feel like the fan favorite for this weekend is definitely Jeb Burton. I think everyone's just sitting there hoping it's Jeb Burton.
Oh yeah, I've never cheered for Jeb Burton this much in my life. When I first saw Jeb Burton in anything was NASCAR 15, and I thought he was just a random person just added to the game. I just thought it was just one of the devs' name just put into the game.
See,
no, he's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, no, I mean, second generation driver? Burton name is not something that isn't uncommon in NASCAR, especially within like the past 30 years. You have Ward, Jeff. Now you have Harrison coming up the ranks. Jeb basically restarting his career with Colleague after, being more on underfunded teams, stuff like that. How you mentioned NASCAR 15, where he was in the 26 for BK Racing. It's crazy to see how his career turned from, showing up to the Cup Series in what was basically a start and part car to now he's in a car where, he just won Talladega. Sure, it was by rain delay, but he's been putting himself in position to win weekly now by being on a top team, and it's cool to see that. And that's the same thing with John Hunter Nemechek. We saw him restart his career so he could rise back up the ranks again, and that's just what we're seeing out of Jeb.
Yeah.
But once again, this is a huge opportunity. So, it's gonna be awesome seeing our logo out there on the car. But I don't know. Moving on from that, predictions for the IndyCar race tomorrow. Who you guys got?
Well, I'm gonna do a Larry Mack, and going back to the past couple of races this season at IndyCar, it was usually someone in the top 3 who have won the race. I don't know about Alabama because it was Alex Palou, but ever since then, who was it? Colton Herta. He won at St. Pete.
Then that had Scott Dixon and Pato O'Ward.
Scott Dixon at the Texas races. Those two. They qualified up on the field. They won the race. They showed that they were the best at those tracks. Now, looking at this field, you see Grosjean pole, but I don't know if Grosjean's going to be first throughout the entire race. So I'm just going to go with my best bet, and call me crazy, but possibly Jack Harvey.
See, I'm not going to call you crazy for that because we look at last year's stats and see Harvey did well at Indy last year. And he's doing very well this year as well with Meyershank. So I'm not calling you crazy for that.
I think Paddle
Well,
goes back to back.
Pato back to back? Huh.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah,
Texas was
yeah.
the last.
yeah. Almost forgot Pato won at Texas.
Yeah, Paddle goes back to back.
Yeah, his first career win came at Texas. See, Pato, I just see another version of Simon Pagino, with Schmidt Peterson, runs well in the championship. What was it? 30 finished in the championship last year. Simon kept finishing top 5 in the championship until he went to Penske, where he eventually won a title. I don't know, but looking back at Indy GP, inaugural winner, Pagino. Then you just went back and forth between Power Pagino. I'm sticking to it. But as much as it pains me to say as a Pagino fan, as much as I'd love to see him win, I see Will Power getting a win this year. And it's coming tomorrow.
I can see that.
I mean,
Yeah.
between those two, they're the most dominant there. They held that track down for, what, 5 years?
Basically.
Who's to say they don't claim it back? But besides that, we have the Dover races. I'm just going to say it right now. Dover Xfinity, Jeb Burton. I don't know about you two, but I feel like it's going to be the same answer.
It will be a calling card, just not Jeb, sadly. AJ's gonna win.
I say Jeb Burton. His best finish at Dover, 7th place. He's in a better card this season. I say he gets a top 5, maybe somewhere between 3rd, 1st. I want 1st, but possibly 2nd. That's still on 1st.
I think that's what we want. I think that's what we all want.
As much as I want Jeb to win, because we're on the card, I think Allmendinger is gonna win it though.
I mean, hey, at least it's Colleague.
Yeah.
But, that's definitely the fan favorite right here is Jeb. But for Cup, what about you guys? Who you guys got for Cup?
Larson.
Yeah, 550 horsepower, high downforce. Person that's been the best at it, Larson. Why I don't think it's going to be Larson? Because he's only done it once at Las Vegas. Every time he's tried to win again, he's been absolutely screwed. So it's going to be someone different. We had 10 different winners in the past 12 races. And 3 of those winners were Truex. And those were at the 750 horsepower track with low downforce. Everyone else just been someone new.
Well,
It
okay,
could literally
let's
be
see. Atlanta, Blaney's long run card came in help from Logano. As much as that pains me to say. Kansas was the tire. That tire caution. And then there was another caution in between there somewhere. And Larson didn't pit when he should have.
Yeah, that caution from, what was it, Stenhouse?
Darlington, he just used up his stuff against Truex.
Yeah.
So, Fidel, who's your pick?
Call me crazy, but I think Denny Hamlin gets his first win of the season. I don't know why. I just feel like Hamlin will win at Dover. We've had so many different winners, especially at the 550 horsepower, high downforce racetracks. It's just going to be Hamlin. Even though his best finish this season is second, and everything's been trying to win, something random happens. Last time he tried to win was at Richmond. Bowman out of nowhere.
Kansas.
Bowman the Showman. Yeah, and Kansas too. Bowman the Showman wins at Richmond. Kansas, Hamlin just drives straight into the wall thinking that it's a couple of meters away.
Well, I'm going to stick to stats because I feel like that's what's going to suit me better. The best drivers at Dover in recent years: Truex, Larson, Elliott. And I don't think Truex is going to get another win on Sunday. I don't think luck is going to go Larson's way. So who does that leave? Chase Elliott. First win of the season.
Yeah,
Has to come sooner.
I can agree with you.
I could also see Byron getting the win tomorrow.
I feel like Byron would win if something happens to all three of them.
Yeah.
But I will not be surprised to see all three of those running top 5 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or not tomorrow, but Sunday. But aside from that, do you guys have anything else to add, talk about?
No.
No, not really. I'm just very excited that we're going to be on a race car tomorrow.
Yeah.
I get to flex on people.
Well,
like,
I guess that.
Where's your NASCAR sponsorship at?
Well, I guess that wraps it up here on the Burning River podcast. I'm Jake Scarborough, joined by Brendan Reed and Fidel Fabian. We'll see you guys some point next week for the reviews of Dover, and hopefully with good news about what happened with Jeb Burton, future things. Who knows? But we'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching.
Adios.